Wisconsin. Okay. Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. The Blackhawk County Board of Supervisors, December the 23rd, 2019. Let's have roll call, please.
Leyland.
Here.
Schwartz.
Here.
Trelka. White.
Here.
Little.
Here. Would you please join us in a moment of silence?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Item 1 is agenda received as proposed or amended.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any questions, comments, or changes? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Public comments. Anybody who'd like to speak to the board this time is not a agenda item. Okay, I don't see any. Item 3, claims and payments, resolution A. James.
Claims and payments came out to a total of $630,136.23. Some of the bigger items on there, conservation came to a total of $80,000. Election, roughly $63.5, and then the sheriff's total. Excuse me. Sheriff's total was $140,400, but everything looked normal. So.
Okay, thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Leyland.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Little.
Yes. Item 4, receiving project updates from department heads and/or elected officials. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Board. Kathy Nicholas,
Morning.
engineer. The road conditions are good today. We expect them to be pretty good all week. There might be a few spots of frost in the morning, but we have been going out. For example, we were out yesterday morning with that heavy frost. We'll be keeping an eye on the road, but it sounds like the road conditions should be fairly good this week. Also, work is continuing on the Cedar River Bridge replacement project on Cedar Wapsie Road. Last Friday, PCI was able to pour the stem, the columns, from the footing that was poured earlier last week. This is the portion that comes up out of the river and supports the bridge. That was poured. Work this week should be pretty minimal, maybe some stripping of forms and some cleanup, and then they'll probably take a few days off tomorrow and the day after Christmas perhaps, and then come back next week. Other than that, can I answer any questions? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else? Yolando.
Good morning, Board. Yolando Lovelace, Veterans Affairs. I just want to take a few minutes out to tell you guys happy holidays and talk about a couple of things that has been going on in Veterans Affairs. December itself, as we wrap up, has been very kind to Veterans Affairs. When I say kind, public donations have been coming through tremendously in supporting. Just Thursday, we did 261 gift bags for nursing home for veterans that are veterans, spouses, and widows that are in nursing homes. We went to about 8 different nursing homes, a total of about $5,000 in just gifts that we gave to those veterans, spouses, and widows, all by public donation. And this is just an opportunity for me to just say thank you for the public. Again, our Operation Christmas is another public donation funded project. We had about 82 veterans participate in that, and about 62 of them were sponsors that supported that went out and got these veterans their gifts, or these family veterans their gifts. In particular, I'd just like to recognize St. Edward's and Unity Point. They took on 10 families alone. I also like to commend, there were some folks right here in Blackhawk County within the Treasurer's Office and a few others that accepted a veteran or family and took on the ownership of getting them the gifts. So I really appreciate that. A couple things else that's going on is our community centers. I'm pleased with the progress. I know it's going to probably slow down as the holidays come up. They're just pending some plumbing in the bathrooms. There's 4 bathrooms that still need to be plumbed. The flooring still needs to be in some of the areas that need the flooring. They are putting in the cabinets in the kitchen right now. They're doing that. They are waiting on the handicap accessible doors. They'll probably do that at the beginning of the year. So we're still looking at sometime in February as a end project date, and more to follow, more pictures too. So forgive me for not having my thumb drive. A couple other things that just kind of let you know we're pressing on. We're still averaging about 173 initial veterans that come in a month. We're still wrapping up our numbers for December. What's pleasing is we still average about 30 to 35 new veterans a month. So we're still getting accustomed to new veterans coming in. One key area is about 70 to 75 Vietnam veterans that we continue to average, and about 42 peacetime and 34 Gulf War. And then we take those totals, and so for last month alone, we seen out of that 173, 110 of them were from Waterloo, 20 of them were from Cedar Falls, and then 43 of them were from outlying cities and counties. And so we're keeping that number too, just to see how many are coming in our doors and where they're coming in from. And then the last thing is, again, we're grateful. This job is rewarding when you can see the smile on families' faces when they get their Christmas gifts, or you go into a nursing home and deliver a present. So thank you again for giving me the first 10 months. I'm very excited about it, and look forward to 2020.
Yeah, you and your staff are doing a fine job.
You
And
do.
that's gonna be a nice center once we get her done. We might have to raise the rate, rent on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do a great
Thank you
job
so
with
much.
social media too, of getting all the people, like say, recognized
Mm-hmm.
for the efforts they're doing around the area, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
They appreciate that, you bet. Okay, is there anybody else? Department heads, elected officials. Okay, then moving on to item 5, minutes approved for December the 17th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 6 is a consent agenda to be made with a single resolution.
Second.
Any questions on the consent? Okay, roll call, please.
Schwartz.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Leyland.
Yes.
Little.
Yes. Item 7, reports, an update from Ben Deligardelle, Urban Services, Washburn Sanitary. Get you 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I didn't get on the agenda last week, and that's okay. So I just wanted to update you for October, November. This fall, we've got regular monitoring of lagoon cells and daily flows. We submitted the MOR, monthly operating report, to the DNR for both months. Started, monitored, and completed the fall discharge. Directly after that, we exercised the lagoon valves and equalized the lagoon cells. That went well. It's completed now. We did a little bit of lagoon bank maintenance. I had mentioned this in the spring, but there was some sludge building up around our discharge pipes. The water discharges there, so all the silt and sand goes in that direction. So it was starting to build up. We were getting muskrats kind of boring into that and getting into those areas. So we used an excavator to clear those areas. We dumped the riprap at the end of a bank that we don't mow, so it won't cause any problems for us anymore. We did the fall system checks as we do spring and fall. We just do an electrical check, and then the condition of the manhole access to the pumps is checked. That was done very thoroughly this fall. October, we had 1 service call and 9 locates. November, we had 3 service call and 4 locates. So the number on the service calls is really the variability in Washburn. So try and keep those as low as possible. And I think our maintenance, the inspections that we've done past year and a half, 2 years, have really helped our service call number drop. So any other questions about this stuff?
Later on the agenda, we have an item approving a 5-person board. Hopefully we'll get that filled, and we'll give you somebody that you can communicate with there also.
Yep. Any questions that they
You're
would
gonna be
have?
able to stay for that?
Yeah, I'll stick around.
And if you know of anybody that's interested, just tell them to contact the boardroom.
Okay, yep. I do know Don is
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
one of them, but other folks in town I haven't heard
Well, you
from,
never
so-
know, it might hear about it, so if they do, just tell them to contact board or
Okay.
office.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, item 8 is contracts and agreements. This is a resolution extension 2080 agreement between Blackhawk County, City of Dunkerton, for the purpose of providing law enforcement services through the Sheriff's Office, term expiring March 1st What this is we had a contract through the end of this year, and we're just gonna extend it to March 1st, and I believe they do have a new sheriff at that point, is that correct? Yeah, or a chief, I mean, not a new sheriff. So we're just basically expanding it for a couple months. Compensation, I'm assuming will be the same. Okay. Anybody got any questions on that? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Little.
Yes. Item B is a resolution of 20 agreement between Blackhawk County and the city of Raymond for the purpose of providing law enforcement services through the Blackhawk County Sheriff, July 1st, 2020, June 30th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
And Tony, you know, I'll answer the same question every year. Oh, there is 3%. Holy cow. Okay, then. Is there any other questions or comments? And again, this will be a 3% increase from last year. Roll call, please.
Leyland,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Little.
Yes. Item C, resolution proposal received from Capon Consulting Engineers, Hudson, Iowa, $26,605 for professional engineering services for the jail boiler replacement project. Rory Giving maintenance.
So moved.
This is budgeted item, Rory.
Second.
Good morning, Board. Rory Giving, Maintenance Superintendent. Yes, this is a budgeted item.
Yeah.
As stated, this is for the engineering services, for the design, bid preparation for the new boiler system at the
What's
jail.
budgeted or what's the estimated cost?
We have budgeted, I believe it was $492,000 for this project. The estimated cost from Capon Engineering is right in that neighborhood of $486,000.
Okay. But it hasn't gone out yet for bid.
No, we anticipate the bid letting to happen at the end of January. That's our goal.
Okay. Board, anything? Do we have a motion?
Yeah.
Okay, roll call, please.
Schwartz.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little.
Yes. Item D is discussion, possible board action. This is service agreement between Blackhawk County and Rapsiscan Systems, Torrance, California, $4,620. And again, this is for our X-ray machine, effective December 1st of this year through November 30th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
And we really is one of those things where we don't have much choice. I believe this one has something to do with a, what was it, Rory, that they're gonna do?
Well, they perform the yearly maintenance, and then it also covers if something were to happen to the X-ray machine. But the priority part of the maintenance agreement is the X-ray itself, the radiation. They do those checks yearly.
What do we have so far in maintenance agreement?
Pardon me?
How much do we have so far tied up in maintenance
Oh,
agreement?
well, it's been around that $4,600 since 2012 yearly.
We got what, 7, do the math, and the machine cost what?
About $26,000 at that time. We're anticipating a new machine at this date would be closer to about $32,000.
And it's working. Perfect. Service agreements.
Yeah.
Ain't got much choice, I guess, unless we roll the dice, so. Anyway, do I have a motion on this one?
Yes.
Okay, let's have a roll call, please.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Little.
Yes. Item 9, motion to request for purchase capital equipment submitted by Kim Veeder, IT Director. This is for $40,700 from Tyler Technology.
So moved.
Second.
Send an email on that, Kim. Is there anything you wanted to add?
Nope, it's a budgeted item.
Budgeted item. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries. Item B is a motion to accept the resignation from Amanda Fessemeyer as member of the Blackhawk County P&Z effective January 31st, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
We want to thank her for her service and just had too much on her plate here recently, so Be another spot we'll have to look to fill. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item C is a resolution of letter of support in reference to Executive Order 13888 on enhancing state and local involvement of resettlement be approved and for the chair to sign.
So moved.
Second.
She's here.
Did you want to speak on this?
I would be more than happy to.
I have a couple of questions. People, did you happen to see this by any chance?
I did not,
I kind of wish that we would run these through Pete before they get on the board.
Yeah, some history will be, like I said, I know there's been some
Yeah.
things going on with it, but some history on that.
Certainly. So I sent Linda a little one-pager that covers some important information regarding refugee resettlement. My name is Sarah Zanich. I work for the Catherine McCulley Center based out of Cedar Rapids. We provide initial resettlement services to refugees within a 100-mile radius of our office. Typically that includes Columbus Junction, Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, and up in Waterloo. Last year, we resettled 47 people in Black Hawk County. Little background on the executive order. So on September 26th, President Trump issued Executive Order 13888, which initially we thought would go into effect within 90 days. We've since learned that it will go into effect with our next notice of funding, which will start on June 1st, 2020. The executive order basically states that refugees will not be permitted to resettle in a state or locality unless the governor and the local county elected officials sign off approving consent for refugees to resettle in that area. So we've received consent from the governor. We did about 2 weeks ago at this point. And now we are here to request consent.
In Lynn County?
Lynn County signed off, Louisa County and Johnson County have all signed off so far.
So really all we're doing here is just a support.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
and
know
that
there's
does-
some,
Yeah, I was gonna say, and what does that do for us as signing it? I was gonna say that.
the letters will be kept on the Department of State's website, basically demonstrating which counties and states are providing consent. And it means that we'll be able to continue to resettle refugees in Black Hawk County.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of families being reunited. We know that Iowa was one of the first states in the nation to provide resettlement services. In 1975, Governor Robert Ray was the only governor in the United States to approve resettlement. And in Black Hawk County is really a wonderful example of kind of the revitalization and the entrepreneurship throughout the refugee and immigrant community.
And there's no financial.
No financial, no.
I think we can all take a guess at what the president's motivation is behind this kind of thing, but we know just how our community has been such a welcoming community and really been enriched by the Bosnian refugees, by the Congolese refugees, by the Burmese refugees, and it's really important part of the fabric of Black Hawk County. And so it's kind of sad that it's necessary to do this kind of thing, but right now, but this is certainly, I think, going to stay a welcoming community.
Well, I wanted to thank Sarah. I think she'd attempted to send us some notices earlier. And I think when she didn't receive a response, she just kept doing it. And so that's where some of the information was a little delayed from what you were doing. But one of the questions I had too, as far as the organizations that you work with in this
Yeah.
community, I don't know if you know those off the top of your head, but are those?
We work very closely with Embark, Ethnic Minorities of Burma. They provide a lot of ongoing services. We're also looking at, in Cedar Rapids currently, we operate a child care business development program that this year we're working to, in partnership with Embark, expand up here, where we train refugees who've been in the U.S. for less than 5 years. It's a grant we got through the Office of Refugee Resettlement, how to open in-home child care centers. They open DHS certified. They are able to receive food assistance, child care assistance payments, and increase the number of slots. I know childcare is a struggle throughout the state of Iowa, so we're doing our part to work with that. We also work closely with People's Clinic, with, oh my goodness, Black Hawk County Public Health helps provide oversight based on refugees' health assessments. So they look at making sure people are receiving any treatment or kind of monitoring their health conditions as well, so we don't have any risk of outbreaks.
That was great. That was great to see the governor sign it as well.
It was.
A couple weeks
We were
ago. That was
very
helpful to
grateful.
all of us, but yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, anybody up here?
Do you need that letter signed? Well, you said now the timeline's been extended, so we don't have to meet the 23rd or the 25th, so it would be all right to get that letter to you later.
Yeah, and an electronic copy is fine too.
Okay, super. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's have a roll call on this.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Little.
Yes. Okay, moving on to item D, discussion possible board action, create a 5-member Washburn Sanitary Sewer Board. As I indicated last week, we do have a 3-member board. They don't meet. In fact, I think there's only one individual still serving on that board. I'd like to increase it. The purposes are like last week, I think it was, when we had a request from the contractor for increases. They could go through this 5-person board before it came to the Board of Supervisors. So I think it could play an important piece out there in Washburn for now and also in the future. So the key is we'll try to have to get it exposed out there so we can get some members. Right now, we're researching doing a flyer into the water bill, and we're trying to get a cost on that. We'll bring that back to the board to see if that's feasible. We don't have that number yet, so.
I wonder if, when we meet in the new year, if this would maybe be one of the boards and committees we want to assign a supervisor, be a liaison
Well, I
to?
looked back in our
Well-
old list, and the old list did have a supervisor. It had Brian listed as one of the members, and it had a supervisor at that time. Was
You
John
know, we
Miller.
can, but everything comes to the board anyway.
Right.
And sometimes when you put a supervisor on an independent board like this, it's kind of a little intimidation.
Right.
So, it's really up to the majority of the board, but I personally would rather see a 5-person board
No, I get
of
that.
citizens.
My thinking is just as a way of making sure the board stays together, like somebody at the county that's, helping them, they remind them, okay, call for a meeting, and.
Well,
that kind of
what they'll
stuff.
probably do, their first action will probably be electing a chair, and then probably a person to take the minutes if they choose to. And then they'll forward all that stuff on to the Board of Supervisors so we can stay abreast. And then certainly they could request to come to the board meeting anytime if they have new information. But again, it's up to the board to have that, but
Yeah, I don't think in the 7 years I've been here, like I said, I know, talking to Mr. Ames before when we when they did new terms, and we asked him if he would extend his term or serve as again. That's the only time I guess I've really had any interaction with them, and I know Craig and
Yeah, we
Ben
met
did.
one time with the citizens, but that was kind of involving.
That was for a different
some
issue.
Stormwater as well. I suggest doing this board. I do also suggest have one of you attend occasionally, or if there's an important topic that comes up, I want you to be knowledgeable of the system as well when you're getting my reports.
Does it
just- I
help
want,
if we have that report from you? I mean, it's in.
Right, I report to you.
I know.
And I would gladly have a conversation with the 5-member board as well. But I just suggest doing it because I feel like some information gets out there that is either incorrect or could use
well,
a more robust understanding.
Yeah.
we did, now that I remember, we did have a meeting out there, and it was requested that we have one board member there. And I can't remember what the topic was, but it was something somewhat important. But other than that, I don't think we had a board member appointed to that 3-person.
I don't remember.
But
We did back when we first started the system.
We used to,
Yeah,
well,
probably.
we created the 3-member back in 07, 09, I think it was.
But the,
Well, we had
like
a
I
board
said,
member, too.
yeah, it showed John Miller and it showed Ben.
It's up to the board what they want to do, but let's concentrate on getting the 5-member citizen board out there. And
So you want 5 citizens then, in addition to if there is a supervisor or Ben or whatever? just
I'm
find
against the
number.
supervisor, but again, that's up to.
No,
the
I don't
majority
mean we have
of
to
the
do
board.
that today, but I just meant even, do you really want 5 then?
I think a good mix is 5. That way, if they have somebody absent or something, the 3 kind of put them in a crunch when they did have some people show. And we can work with them as far as where they need to hold their meetings. Ideally is if they'd meet once a month. And ideally is if they meet with Ben.
Well, then, I mean, as far as Don's here, and I don't know the last time you met and how difficult you think it will be to get 5 people from citizenship or
I
citizens.
think we can get 5 people out there to take interest in it and help. It's been quite a while since we had any kind of a meeting. I think probably the last time I can really remember anything is when Craig come out. And,
Yeah.
that was over a lot of the people that were pumping into the system with the groundwater.
Yeah.
And that's probably last time we really ever addressed anything.
We had one
Yes.
meeting, I think, in the back room of that bar there. Yeah, we did. I mean, there ain't a lot of places. to do.
Yeah. You might.
And it was in the back room. I remember we held one meeting there. And that's all we did was hold the meeting.
All right.
Now I get why it's.
I probably could forego that. Too much information. huh?
Yeah, you did it.
So anyway, I think if we can, supervisors can work a little bit and see if they can find some people. I called Don 2 or 3 times now in the last 2 weeks. And maybe we can get that little flyer sent out in the water bill, which will reach, I think we have about 200 and some customers out there. So that might be something. So,
Well, Don, have you got any suggestions of how to contact, to get some people that really would be interested, that would really be interested in serving, I guess, on a board? That would probably meet heavily, I suppose, for a little while.
well, I suggested to him the other day, putting a sign on him and walking around town,
Okay.
but he didn't bite. So.
Pete, since we're taking action to create this, are they subject to open meetings, or do they have to be concerned about that?
Yes, they would be subject to open
Yeah,
meetings.
okay.
Yep. It's a commission
Mhm.
or board created by the board, so it's subject to the open meetings law.
Might put a sign up down at the bar, Mr. Little's talking about, and at the gas
Because we
station
would have a lot of people
that hang out there.
Prono store
Yeah,
that takes
that
a
Prono store.
lot
Yeah.
of business, a lot of people and.
We can probably have some posters made up here and we can
Take 'em
out
up.
there and ask them to put them up, so that'll work. So
For
it's worth a try. I think it's a good buffer between the Board of Supervisors and the citizens by having their own board out there. Okay?
Do we have any information, James, have you looked into what's in that account currently? And
We're just waiting to see what it'll cost for the flyer.
no, I'm just thinking of some of the costs and things that are upcoming and what that account is even.
Well, I think he was working on the increases that the board approved last week or the week before, I can't remember. And we'll get a figure there on how that's going to affect the bottom line on that account.
Yeah, I mean, as of June, it was, the audit came back and there was, between water and sewer, about 312,000 in that account.
Yeah, but, that's not figuring the increases that the board approved. So we'll have to figure those up and then.
Yeah, we need to look.
So if you could put together something.
I
for
think
us.
the key too is, it's been brought to the board's attention that plant's getting fairly old and it may need some modifications, so that's why it'd be important to have a 5-person board in place so they can ask questions and bring suggestions. So it's a win-win situation if we can get one put together, and I think we can.
So
Okay.
you're working on that now as far as a spending history or where we're at, as
Yeah.
far as where we started, where we're at?
Yep, yeah,
Okay,
and then.
because that might be,
We're gonna have to look at the rates here as well, so make sure that's keeping
Thank
up.
okay.
The one rate for the bond stuff, I believe, drops off next year, next May, if I'm not mistaken. So the only fee they'll have is the usage fee. So,
I think Kathy, I had a question, and I know Kathy had sent us all an email regarding the district's drainage districts, and was wondering, is this something that group could also be assigned with, or is that something that would be separate, or should we be looking at?
Separate.
the code calls for that, what you talk about. Be honest with you, it may not be a bad idea down the road, but I think early on we should concentrate on the sewer part of it, because I know there's gonna be some possibly rate increases in the future. And then plus the plant, if we have to do some modifications there. But I believe the code covers the drainage. And if there isn't one, the Board of Supervisors, I believe, are
The trustees, yeah, I think
We can
that's what-
certainly take a look at that, but I don't want to throw a whole bunch on their plate right away.
No, I just
It'll
meant that
scare
was
them
a
off
good
before
one
we
to
even
do.
get them.
Well, I'm afraid it'll scare them off anyway when they know we're talking about doing some other improvements, so.
Could be. Okay?
No, I think this is a good thing to create. I think after we create it today, maybe think about what things we can do as a board just to support them and make them a successful committee, so that it's kind of the supports that are given to other boards and commissions that we have at the county. So
Yeah.
helping them take the minutes and record meetings and all that kind of stuff we got to think
I
about.
think they were successful in the past, but it got to a point where they really didn't have anything to meet over.
Right.
You can sit there all day and look at one another, but.
But
we
a
don't have
three,
anything to
it's hard to get,
discuss.
with a three-person
Yeah.
board, that's why I thought by five, we got a good chance of having a quorum at least, you know what I'm saying?
Board of Adjustment's 5, and we can't give it 3, thanks to you.
And you never know, we might get somewhere we can get alternates, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
I think, the point here, are you increasing the size of the present board or setting up a new board?
Well, I think we're gonna, seems that we have an existing member on the three-person, I think what we're doing is expanding the previous resolution where it was established a three-person to a 5-member board.
Thank you.
And that'll be part of the minutes,
All right.
okay?
Yeah. Sounds fine.
And I think it was in '09 when we created the three-person.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay, then let's have roll call on that, Grant.
We need a motion first.
So moved to increase the number from 3 to 5 of citizen board.
Second.
Okay. Leyland,
Yes.
Schwartz?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Little?
Yes. Okay, last item there is any reports or information. I just want to say, everybody to have a safe and happy holidays. And we thank you. Got another year down and a lot accomplished this year too. So hopefully things are looking good for next year also. So again, we thank everybody, all the employees, elected officials, department heads and so forth. Chris?
I'd just like to echo the sentiments, wishing everybody happy holidays and everybody here that helps keep Blackhawk County running well and has worked hard throughout the year, and to all of our citizens and that entrust us with this great duty. I also remind the public we're still looking for volunteers to help run our emergency warming shelter, which will be opening up on Monday, January 6th. And we have a training that we want everybody to go through that will cover everything from our operation manual, procedures, to even things like naloxone training in case someone would have an overdose from an opioid. So this training will be on Thursday the 2nd, 6 o'clock at Jubilee's United Methodist Freedom Center, which is on East 4th and Newell Street.
Who provides that training?
So the training will be done from the committee. So there's some folks on Pathways that are on the committee volunteering their time. They'll be doing like the naloxone part, and then folks that work with the hospitality house, and so there's a whole coalition of folks who will be running the training.
Very good. Craig?
Just wish all the citizens of Blackhawk County a Merry Christmas. 50 years ago right now, I was on a plane headed home from Vietnam, and so it's a special time of year for me.
Linda?
No, just wishing everybody happy holidays, safe holidays, and I guess a happy new year since we won't see you or probably talking to anybody till the first of the year. So thank you for everything you do.
Okay, with that, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, we are adjourned. Thank you.